You tell me when you're ready. I mean, we're ready? Yeah. All right, all right. Hey, what do you say? What do you say? We're back at Red Bicycle Hall. It's a Friday afternoon. We got Isaac Rudd here with us, tonight. We've also got another band we'll visit with here just shortly, and we'll get back to that. But this guy right here is the star at the moment, and we've been chatting a little bit, and I don't know, Isaac. Let's start off with some basic biographical questions. Where'd you get married?
Yeah, we're going to start with that one. I was literally thinking, we're going to talk about antique stores here for about 5 minutes, hometown. Las Vegas, Nevada.
Las Vegas. A lot of people got married there.
A lot of people. Little White Chapel.
Little White Chapel. That's awesome. Did Elvis get married there at some point? I don't know.
I think it was
no,
Elvis.
maybe not.
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan got married there?
Joan
You looked
Rivers.
at the Wall of Fame while
Yeah.
you were there?
Yeah.
And
Half of them divorced.
you've been, that's all right. You
Not
what,
us. Not
9
us.
months, 10 months in?
We are, 10 months in.
10 months in.
10
Going
months
strong.
in. Oh, we're beautiful. She's going to be here tonight.
Yeah?
So.
Where y'all live?
We live just outside of Kokomo, Indiana.
Kokomo.
Yeah,
Are you from Indiana?
I am. I'm from Kirkland, Indiana.
Okay.
And we just moved.
Isn't there a
not too
brewery
long
there
ago.
or something? Kirkland Brewery? or-
Distillery.
Distillery,
It's new.
that- yeah.
It's a
Saw
good
that.
spot. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, Kokomo. It's, we just moved a couple weeks ago, so it's fresh, and it wasn't a week, and the wife got chickens and ducks, and so we're all settled in.
You're farmed out and
We're
settled
settled
in.
in,
Chickens and ducks. That's great. And so, do you have any like little Whitechapel songs at this point? I mean, there's a story in there somewhere, right?
There is. There's a bunch of stories. Well, my second favorite. I'll start with my second favorite story.
All right.
Is our the man who married us. What was it? What's the word?
Minister or
Yeah.
whatever. Officiant.
Officiant. And now I'm going to space his name, but it is an awesome name. And I'll think of it in the middle of this interview.
All right,
I
we'll
swear.
come back to it.
But no, he was just the nicest man. His English wasn't perfect, but he got my name close. So the vowels were hilarious, and it was awesome. It was icing on the cake. Once I got there.
Mr. Rude, do you
Yes,
take?
exactly. Isaac. I was Isaac. but
Isaac?
It's all good. It was fun. It was like I said, icing on the cake once I got there.
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna back up, and I'll be honest. We chatted a little bit before the interview started here, but there's a bigger story. We were in Indiana. We were at the airport, maybe.
Well, we stayed. So the day before my marriage is my birthday, so I didn't plan that so that I could remember my wedding anniversary, but it
Not
does work out
inconvenient.
nice. Yeah, no. But no, so we stayed at a hotel before the plane took off. Plane took off like 6 a.m. So we stayed at the hotel the night before. Just had dinner for my birthday. That's it. Dinner, a few drinks, and a nice restaurant.
But you had a plan, a reservation, kind of. We were
Yes,
going to the
yes.
Whitechapel. We're going to get
Yes,
married.
we had a reservation. I think our reservation honestly was like 6, and then the day before my wife was like, I think I want to get married, later, like 8 instead. And I was like, all right, whatever you want. And so she did that, luckily. And so, yeah, we're getting married at 8 o'clock the next day, so we go to dinner, and it was a nice dinner. And we get back to the hotel, go to bed, wake up, get to the airport at 5 a.m., and I'm through TSA, and all of a sudden, lady goes, "You all right, sir? You're sweating profusely." I'm like, "Oh shit!" Like,
And you weren't like sneaking
I
drugs
didn't-
through
no,
or
right.
anything. So.
I probably looked like it,
Right.
but I was like, "Man, I wasn't feeling bad until you said something." So, yeah. Next thing I know, a couple other things happened. She, was like, I was like, "Is there a hospital, here?" Like, I guess that's what I asked. Like, there's a hospital at the airport I can just go to, and asked a bunch of weird questions, I guess, and then I just collapsed. And last thing I told my wife, I said, go get on the airplane. And a photographer was going with us. I said, go get on the airplane. I'll figure it out.
The photographer stayed with you or went with her?
Went with her.
Okay.
Yeah, went with her. So it was them two on the plane, and I was like, I'm a big boy. I'll figure it out. And passed out again. Woke up in the ambulance. Then again in the hospital, and they were telling me, what did they say? Gastrointestinal virus that was shutting down my immune system, so it wasn't fighting back.
That sounds bad.
And like I said earlier, it was like a bad case of food. What do you say? A bad case of food poisoning. That it just wasn't stopping.
Yeah.
And so I was hurting, and went back to the hotel. Luckily, that we stayed at the night before. Lady at the front desk was super nice, super understanding. That I went to I think I walked in and she said, "Aren't you supposed to be in Vegas?" Like she remembered me from 3 hours ago.
Nice.
But long story short, I got on the airplane finally found a plane at 3. With the 4-hour time difference, I got there at 4 p.m. Vegas time.
It's supposed to be 6 p.m. wedding thing? Or
Yeah. So at this point, we had it moved till 8. So I had about 4 hours. But then, when we landed, and there was this was when there was that hurricane in California.
Oh, right.
And it was like, whoa, this is crazy. This doesn't rain in these different parts that much. Well, Vegas had the most rainfall it's had since like 1992 or something crazy. And I'm sitting on the tarmac at 4 p.m. and I can see our gate. And they park it. And they go, we're going to have to wait here. They've cleared the tarmac. So we couldn't go any further from And so I'm like antsy already. I'm in the front row and I'm thinking, man, like, am I going to be late to my own wedding? Like she probably thinks I'm like, ducking or something. And my phone's, barely has service here and there. And so finally I'm like antsy and the flight attendant says, are you good? In a hurry? And I said, oh, absolutely. I'm getting married in like 2.5 hours. And he's like, I'll get you off this plane. I
Nice.
promise. Yeah, he was super cool. And I was like, thank you, man. Because everyone else was not as helpful that day. It was an experience, to say the least.
You made it to the wedding.
Made it to the wedding. It was a beautiful ceremony. My parents
Everybody
were
said
there.
yes.
We all said yes. Yes, both me and her.
Did you do the drive-through thing, or you actually went into the chapel
we
too?
went into the Little White Chapel
Okay.
and did all that, and then got pictures out at the pink Cadillac and oh man, I almost had his name too.
Oh, I'm going to need you to share some pictures with me after. We're going to flash those up.
Absolutely. I'll send the pictures.
That's a great story.
Because there's pictures of me in the hotel room before, and like I had just put on my suit, and you can tell that I am not feeling very good. Everybody's like cheersing and I'm like, I was like, I want to be feeling good because it's her day. I want to make it special for her, and it was, and she loved it, but she was just happy that I was.
What's your wife's name?
Christine.
Big shout out to Christine,
Yes,
hanging in there, taking care of the details while
Yes.
Isaac was slacking back in Indy,
Oh,
whatever.
man,
That's
yeah.
awful.
She was, I couldn't even imagine how bad she was freaking out. I was too. So it was a beautiful thing that it all worked out, and it wouldn't be. That's what everybody keeps saying. It wouldn't be our wedding if it wasn't something crazy happened. So.
Gotcha. Kokomo, Indiana. A lot of stuff happens there. I mean, there must
Yeah.
be so many stories. That must be where you derive your musical inspiration, right?
Yeah, a lot of hometown stuff, definitely. A lot of just experience stuff, and I like a lot of different genres and a lot of different musical styles. So I like the music or the storytelling from country music.
Right.
But I like.
What do they say?
Rock riffs
3
and
chords in the
3
truth.
chords, yeah. But I like those chords to be, bar chords maybe.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't know. My styles vary for sure, but a lot of the lyrical insight is very personal and just kind of fun, I think.
How does that feel to you, laying out your life? Like, I'm writing from experience, and this little raw. How does it feel standing in front of an audience, like telling them your story? Really,
It's probably. It's a lot like therapy,
Okay.
But to me, like I said earlier, you know, I'm okay with standing in front of people, you know, in spotlight. That doesn't bother me at all. You know, the thing that bothers me is the business behind the scenes. You know, that's what I would rather not deal with. But I love talking to people and you know, hearing their stories, seeing their experiences. Sure. And that's the other thing too. I like writing from their experiences too. You know, and history. History's a big. I love history. Our newest song, I'm a shameful plug, Geronimo. You know, it's about, you know, Geronimo, and just the fact that, you know, someone would do the things he did, not only to help his people, but, you know, the crazy things like jumping off a cliff and yelling your own name. Those kind of legendary things that I like history in that sense. You know, just the stories that can't be really duplicated. Yeah. I like writing about those.
I watched a show recently about Bon Jovi, you know, John Bon Jovi and whatever, and you know, him growing up in Atlantic City and all the people around him, Springsteen and whatever, you know, these, and he said, you know, listen to my music early on, and there was this. We were talking about life in Jersey, what we were doing, and you know, in Atlantic City, and then, but then later on, you know, life changed and your perspective changes.
Exactly.
How old are you now?
28.
28?
Yep.
I mean, you still got a lot of life. So.
And I've lived a lot of life, man. I think, you know, some of the stories I tell to people, they don't believe just because of my age or, you know, just the craziness of some of the things that we've done, you know. But a lot of times, I think that, yeah, experience is the best teacher, and styles will change over time if your experience does, which it should.
It always will.
Yeah. So I think, you know, there's nothing wrong with, you know, like that. We were writing about, you know, Jersey. Like I was writing about Kirkland, and, you know, Soul in a Six String was my first song I almost ever wrote, I think. You know, the first one that I was confident enough to
play out.
Yes, and it's recorded on our stuff, and I had some of John Mellencamp's guys play on it in the studio, John G and Larry Crane and Dane Clark playing drums, and man, you know, it is a song that I'll cherish because it was one of the first songs, but it doesn't sound like me today because that was 8 years ago that I wrote that, you know. So it's 9 years ago. So it's a whole different band, not only, but a couple members are the same, but it's a whole different style of music and experience in my life right now, for sure.
So, okay, so we're 8 years back, you know, you're writing the first song that you wrote, you feel like, and you're like, yeah, I can do this out, I can play and do my own thing. So let's go forward 8 years.
I don't know if I thought I could do it back then. I was scared shitless. Well, I still am sometimes.
Oh, sure.
But yeah, I don't know.
So if we go forward 8 years, you're 36 years old. I mean, what's a 36-year-old Isaac doing?
Hopefully playing gigs. That's all I really want out of music is for it to be my lifelong dream, passion, and job.
Yeah.
You know, I think if you can continue to make music for people, no matter your age, and they enjoy it, then that's enough. You know, I mean, you got to make money.
And if you can make a living
I was
at
gonna
it,
say you got to make a living.
That's bonus,
that's
right?
Yeah. But that's the thing. Like, I want to make a living at it. I want it to be kind of, and it is my main focus. And whether that be by choice or, you know, like in college, I went 2 years and skipped most of my classes to lock myself in my room and teach myself how to play guitar.
There's lots of things to learn while you're in college, and not all of them are academic.
Exactly. Well,
so it's fine.
And a majority of them I learned in my bedroom. That is not a pun. That is
Sorry, honey, that was not all.
That is. I locked myself in my bedroom with my guitar, put on YouTube, and I taught myself when I was 19, and just it was GCD for a good long while.
Sure.
And no, I mean, that was, I wouldn't have learn to play music if I didn't go drop out of college. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely.
And so I'm very grateful for that.
That's awesome. So, I don't know, I'm enjoying my conversation. I don't want to end my interview, but I always kind of come back to this with everybody we interview. If you had it to do over again, is there something you would change?
No, well, I'd meet my wife sooner.
But wouldn't that have changed other things?
It might have, but she's a musician too, and she's a beautiful musician. She is so much better than me, and when we met, she had already been doing music, for 4 or 5 years. So maybe, I don't know, but she just makes me better as a person and as a musician and everything, and I think that's what kind of really put me on a path to be able to be confident enough to do it. Because everybody could do it, but like you say, you get up on the stage, everybody could play it, you could pick up an instrument, learn it, get on stage, but to be truly great, you have to be confident enough in yourself to shine, and she allows me to shine, and that's probably what I would do.
Well, that's beautiful. Tribute. That's wonderful.
Thank you.
Holy cow. Well, so looking at your future, I want you to know the statistics of Red Bicycle Hall.
Yeah.
On the quota of number of musicians that we've had play in this place and number of musicians who have either gone on to win Grammys, be nominated for Grammys, or now Grammy award-winning artists multiple times, our ratio and proportion rates above 90%.
Ooh.
That's a made-up statistic, but a good many venues across the country, I don't care where you go.
Yeah.
And so just by playing here tonight, Isaac, there's a real good chance that you may be heading that direction.
That would be cool. I love it here. I love Madison, especially, but I love the Red Bicycle Music Hall, man. It's cool. And this room is sweet, too.
Well, okay, then I need to make a contract with you tonight.
All right.
Once you get that Grammy, I'm going to hit you up, and I'm going to go, Isaac, dude, come on.
We'll
Just slide by here. We'll do a little, 50 people show, and just...
I will pray for that day.
I will, too. You have a song for us tonight? Is
Yeah,
it
I'll
Geronimo?
play a
You
song.
got to...
Ooh, I can play
Yippee-ki-yay, Geronimo!
I can play Geronimo for you. I can play whatever. What kind of...
Dude, what do you feel?
Probably not in tune, are we?
I mean, we're going out to, I don't know, we may have, are we sneaking up on 1 million followers? We're sneaking up on it. All right, we're gonna reset here a little bit, and
All right.
Isaac Rudd's gonna
Let's see. What
embrace.
should I play? We'll play a fun one. We'll play a song that my buddy and I, we like to do some recreational mushrooms, and
It's all natural, bro.
exactly, and clears the mind.
Alright, here. I have you play just a little bit, so I can mix the guitar and the mic. Play the first verse and then.
All right. Yeah, this is a.
This is fun. Thank you very much for doing this.
No, thanks for having me. This is a
Oh,
song.
okay. You just this is just vocal now, right?
Yeah, so I'm gonna mix both of these together.
And my buddy, his name's Jesus, he came over and we were on mushrooms and we started talking to him like he was Jesus. And so it's called Jesus Came Over Tonight. Ain't it a crazy thing? Jesus came over tonight. He sat down at the table for a little bread and boxed wine. He said you wouldn't believe my tripping. I've had a hell of a like you already won the fight. Ain't it a crazy thing? Jesus came over tonight. Oh, this is usually where we have our sermon, which is just a shredding guitar solo. That's what we call our sermon. So
We can just speak to the
I was
spirit
gonna say
of
that'll be
things for a
tonight.
moment. Just talk about the beautiful moment.
Well, you know I gotta ask, is there life out there somewhere? Maybe a little green man on a planet with real thin air. He said, man, you already know there is, shouldn't give you any pause. Then he said, they've already been here before. They don't really like y'all. 'Cause you gotta love your enemy like you already won the fight. Ain't it a crazy thing? Jesus came over tonight. Yeah. Ain't it a crazy thing? Jesus came over tonight. Yeah, thank
Beautiful.
you,
I
thank
think
you.
that's wonderful.
That is our.
You know, mushrooms can be an inspiring thing, but it helps you see the Lord. And
It does, you know.
Beauty and the truth in some way. What the heck? 3 chords and the truth.
Amen.
I think you threw in some susses
I
and
might
sevens
have.
in there.
I added a little hammer on there, but
I'm looking forward to the show tonight. I
Yeah.
know you play a whole lot more, and of course with the whole band tonight.
Absolutely.
So here's your opportunity to give your shameless plug for what's the new album on the horizon.
yeah, we're recording a record right now, and we've got 3 done, so we're on our way. But we've got 1 out, and we're just kind of doing it ourselves, paying for it ourselves. So just going how we can. And our first single's out, Geronimo. Jesus Came Over.
On
Will
Spotify,
be is
up
on
there to
Spotify.
check
It's
out, so
Spotify,
check it out,
iTunes.
Geronimo,
Check that out.
Suburban
Yeah.
Revolvers.
And yeah, we're gonna have a lot more coming out here soon. So
This is fun. So live from Red Bicycle Hall here in historic Madison, Indiana, Indiana's Music City. Folks, thanks for joining
Amen.
us. This is called Red Bicycle Before, and before, I mean maybe before the Grammy. I don't know. We'll see Isaac Rudd down the road. Thank you very much.
cheers.
Yeah, man.
Oh, right on. Am I good down to play? Cool. Cool. I have not played.